Welcome to Horse Bytes, your go-to source for keeping up with the show jumping world. It was a wet week of show jumping as Nations Cup jumping was actually canceled at the second leg of the Longines League of Nations in St. Gallen. They managed to jump the Grand Prix, but it was almost a complete wash of a weekend in the Swiss town, with riders even leaving midweek to attend other events. The Global in Saint-Tropez, however, saw abundant sunshine on the beach of the French Riviera, where even Formula One driver Max Verstappen soaked up some of the sun. Thunderbird saw another wet four-star event while the American exhibitors showcased their talents under the lights at the iconic Dixon Oval in Devon, Pennsylvania. This week, we're going to take a look at the host nation as the French hope to put together a winning team come their home Olympics in Paris. And with another team series kicking off a week ago, we're going to go through the rules and format of the Major League Show Jumping Series as it got underway for the summer. But first, let's take a look at those who were victorious from last week. Despite the weather, the Grand Prix in St. Gallen went to the only clear round of the day, Martin Fuchs and Commissar Pezzi. With fewer than 25 jumping the class, it was still a spectacular hometown win for the Swiss rider. Max Kuhner and EIC up to Jacques Bleu won the stunning LGCT of Saint-Tropez and saw overall tour leader Eduardo Alvarez Aznar and the 19-year-old Rockefeller de Pleville Bois Margot finish in third to maintain their series lead. The CSI 4-star in Thunderbird went to Charlotte Jacobs and her fantastic little superstar Rinkula Milshawn racking up a career best for the duo. And the 4-star Sapphire Grand Prix of Devon went to Jordan Coyle and 4 Gold, who shined under the lights to claim the top prize of almost $75,000. Welcome to Showstopper, powered by Elo-ratings. This week, it's all about the host nation, Team France. Right on the bubble as the 6th strongest team with an average Elo of 751 and over 136 active horses to choose from, France has some catching up to do. Unlike many of the other nations, France has some very strong riders with multiple horses at the top of the list. So as of right now, if each French rider chose their highest Elo-rated horse to compete at the Olympics, the team would be as follows. Dubai de Cedry and Julien Epéard on an Elo of 776, one of the strongest pairs in the world right now. Blood Diamond Dupont and Julien Anquetin on an Elo of 745 and a recent winner of the 5-star Grand Prix in Paris. Viking de la Rousserie and Kevin Stow on 743, and a fan favorite, Cayman Jolly Jumper and Simone Deleste on an Elo of 741. But looking at current form, or the CAS metric, the team could differ slightly. Julien has 2 top mounts to choose from, and although Dubai is technically jumping 8.6 faults above the average, Donatello Doze just won a 4-star Grand Prix last week and is almost equally as strong an option. While Kevin Stow's other mount, Diallo Blue PS, is jumping 50% of the time clear with a CAS of 2.8, and Simone Deleste I Am a Lucina have recently started performing above average on a CAS of plus 0.9 and a 40% clear rate. Given France's historical choices and the pressure of producing a medal on home turf, our forecast here at Horse Bytes is that the team will go off of the Elo predictions and consist of Julien Epéard and Dubai de Cedry, Simone Deleste and Cayman Jolly Jumper, Julien Anquetin and Blood Diamond Dupont, and Kevin Stow with Viking de la Rousserie. But with the Nations Cup in La Baule coming up this week and the French sure to field a super strong team, changes are always possible. Horse Bytes is brought to you by Athlete EQ. If you change nothing, nothing will change.
What if I told you I can make you 100% better in your riding abilities in just 4 months? What would that mean to you? What would change for you and your horse? With the right training based on your riding and your abilities, you will get the results you want.
This week on Weekly Wonder, we're going to take you through the rules and format of the Major League Show Jumping Series, or MLS as it's sometimes referred to as. And no, not the soccer league. A couple of weeks ago, they kicked off their summer tour in Vancouver, but as we know, there are a lot of series and tours in our sport these days, and who can keep track of them all? Each one is a little different, but all have worthy attributes, so let's look at how the MLS works. First off, The vision behind the MLS is to elevate the level of show jumping in North America by adding CSI 5-star events to the calendar. Basically, up until a couple of years ago, the level of show jumping in North America was significantly below that of Europe, and a few visionary people wanted to change that trajectory and help not only increase the level, but also give people who didn't want to or couldn't travel to the EU a chance to stay on par with their European counterparts. It was America's answer to the GCT, essentially. Teams now cost approximately $2 million to own outright, where you own the name, the brand, the merchandising capabilities, and have the ability to sell the team, unlike the globals. But there's also approximately an $800,000 yearly franchise fee for all teams, whether they have a single owner or are syndicated by the riders themselves. There is a maximum of 8 teams registered, although the league can run with a minimum of 5. The league consists of between 7 and 15 5-star events in Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Team rosters consist of 4 to 6 riders, and at least 2 riders per team must be ranked within the top 250 on the Longines rankings list, with 3 athletes required to compete in the team competition at each event. Unique to the MLS is their force majeure rules regarding replacements due to veterinary or medical reasons. If a team is unable to field 3 athletes in a given event, the league will find a temporary replacement, although that athlete won't be eligible for bonuses or year-end awards. Certainly an interesting rule, given the teams don't necessarily have a say on who could represent them, but at least they're still eligible to compete. There is a trade window halfway through season, so team shuffles can and often do happen, as with the GCTs. And similarly as well, each team is required to participate at every event with significant penalties for no-shows. There are 40 team athletes and 10 individuals who are allowed to participate at the events, and each athlete can bring 2 to 3 horses, depending on the individual show capabilities. Okay, now let's look at the actual format for jumping. It's 1 round with 2 jump-offs. The first jump-off will include the top 4 teams from round 1, and the second jump-off will determine podium finishes. Team classification doesn't count for world ranking points, but a concurrent Table A placing will award points. Individual athletes are scored amongst the team athletes in final placing, but will jump first in the order of go. Basically, that means they count the first round as a 1-round speed and place everyone who jumps according to time. For the teams, all 3 riders' scores count, and the top 4 teams after round 1 will come back for a shortened second round course. Each team picks 2 of their 3 riders to jump off. After the first jump off, the top 3 teams will come back again, this time with their 3rd rider who hasn't jumped a second round yet, to jump off in a podium showdown to determine the top 3 placings. No horse or rider jumps more than twice in a day, and they go into the final round on a clean slate, and the class is run as a false converted speed where knockdown penalties convert to time and the fastest time overall wins. It's actually very exciting to watch. Overall, each team competition offers $200,000 US in prize money and is spec'd at meter 50. There is a bonus of $500,000 for the final season standings with a 50%, 30%, 20% breakdown for the top 3 teams. The individual Grand Prix at the events are meter 60 5-star competitions and have their own bonuses and overall standings. The MLS is an inventive concept for team jumping, and they do a great job with marketing and optics. It's a bit cheaper to compete than, say, a global team, and the prize money on offer is also significantly less, but they did manage to bring 5-star jumping to North America where it previously hadn't existed. The field strength of the overall competitions is definitely lesser than that of the European counterparts, and the number of starters tends to be smaller, but it's on the right track, attracting more and more foreigners each year. Stay tuned for the next MLS competition coming up in August. Now, let's take a look at some wild things that remind us why we love horses.
All right, let's see how sweet these animals are, even in the wild things. Oh, that's a brave girl. That's a brave horse. What a sweet animal. She seems like a silly move. Oh, and then it spooks. Oh my God, look at this. Almost jumped off. Look at that leg. She goes flying. What a good animal to not buck her off. Oh, and here's another one galloping. We know it's coming, but we do love these horses. Oh, and it takes a dive. But that's why we love horses.
That's a wrap on this week's Top Highlights. Stay tuned to all of our socials. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow along all the action as it unfolds here on Horse Bytes, your go-to source for keeping up with the show jumping world.